In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Destroyer Droid, or Droidica, from the Phantom Menace line. This is actually the only Destroyer Droid I have in my collection, and I didn't get him until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Uh, Destroyer Droids, unfortunately, they never really seem to be too common in my area. I would see a few here and there, but unfortunately I just never got around to getting it until several years later. And I think this is a really good one. I do know a little bit about all the versions of the Destroyer Droid out there. There's 30th anniversary molds. There was a lot from like the Saga days and several in between. I think the Revenge of the Sith line got one as well. And I do hope to get all those at some point here in the near future. But for now, we just have this Phantom Menace one, and it's a really good action figure. I like it for what it is. Definitely one of the highlights from the Phantom Menace line, and I think this is one that holds up nicely today. Unfortunately, you cannot roll these up into a ball. I don't think any of the other versions of him out there can do that either. But there are some that are already pre-made into a ball, and I think this was during the Saga line, and then you project them out through some mechanical device or something like that. So I'm a big fan of these droids though. The Black Series is starting to make its rounds of an action figure of it. It is a deluxe price though, and it seems like from what little I've seen of it so far, you can actually roll it up into a ball, which is nice. Hope to get one of those soon. I think the sculpting work on this is phenomenal. Looks exactly like the Destroyer Droid. I think the proportions on it are pretty good. We'll bring out one of his droid companions here. Was this OM M9 or OMD9 or something like that? Yeah, M9. The Battle Droid Commander. And you can see how they look together. It's a significantly large droid. And basically his 3 eyes there. And his outer shell. And for his arms, pretty good sculpting work. There's all these wires sticking out. Kind of see what the inside of the Destroyer Droid looks like. You have these devices here which are used to activate the shield around it. Unfortunately, it does not come with a shield of any sorts. And the few attempts that Hasbro has made at making a shield, oftentimes it doesn't really look that right. And it's not very translucent sometimes either, where there's one that comes with the 30th anniversary line. And if you get 2 of them, you can complete one of the shields. And you can't even see the action figure inside of it at all. And for his legs here, it's the 3 of them. And basically a spine there. So in terms of his articulation, he's actually probably one of the most articulated action figures from the entirety of this line. So he does have a swivel at the head here, basically. Look all the way down and out as much as he possibly can. He does have a swivel at his shoulders, basically. And then he has a swivel at basically what would be his wrists for his blasters here. So you can fold them all the way up. Not really any articulation in the spine at all. It does have a little bit of flex to it, but it doesn't really serve any purpose. Then he does have articulation at his legs here, so basically what would be his hips can articulate up and down, and then what would be his knees can articulate as well. So you can kind of roll this guy up That's kind of about the best you're really going to get. Yeah, the spine there does have a little bit of flex to it. Still, that's probably about the best you're really going to get. Just enough to maybe he's made his approach and it's about ready to go into action. But for 1999, this was pretty innovative articulation. Showed that Hasbro could do it if they wanted to. And he has a very flexible action figure. A lot of the parts feel very rubbery. But they feel sturdy as well. Nowadays, parts feel rubbery and gummy, and then they feel like they could snap on you. It doesn't really feel that way with a lot of these older action figures. And he doesn't have any blast effects or anything for his blasters here. And he does have a stand, which is kind of useless for him. But you do have that option. Number 46, Destroyer Droid, status elite unit of the Trade Federation Army. And he does have some voice lines. Yeah. So basically just some shooting effects and an explosion effect. Overall, it's a very nice action figure. That's about all I can say about it. So would I recommend this particular Destroyer Droid for your collection? I totally would. I think, even though I don't own all the other molds, I think they're all great in their own way. But this one is very nice as well. Very innovative action figure back in the day. Definitely one of the highlights from the entirety of the Phantom Menace line. And would highly recommend it. Does have a lot of flex to him, a lot of articulation. And I think for being a first attempt at the Destroyer Droid, Hasbro really knocked it out of the park. Very happy to own this. Would love to get more in the future. Be nice to have like an entire squad of Destroyer Droids. Usually they roll in like 2s or 3s. But for the time being, this is the only one I have. And I do plan to get the Black Series one whenever that starts making its rounds in North America. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There'll always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some of the links in the description if you have not done so already. As always, thanks for watching.